association. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavas pranams to you and all devotees present here. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. This is Eka Radhika Leela Devidasi. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Eka Radhika Leela Mataji. Dhanavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining and giving us sweet association every day. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Aditi Devidasi in Pune, India.
Hare Krishna, Aditi Mataji, Dhanavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining and giving your association. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna, is there anybody who would like to introduce themselves? Okay, we will start the recording. Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today we are very fortunate to have His Grace Sanatana Dharma Prabhu to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, 6th canto, 18th chapter, 20 to 22 verses. The verses from Srimad Bhagavatam, but the topic today is Bhakti, heart transformation. Hari Bol, very wonderful topic for today. Before we hand over the call to Prabhuji, I request Raj Prabhu to give a brief introduction of today's speaker. Raj Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Welcome to you and all the Sunday devotees, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, Shri Guru and Gauranga. Here is a brief introduction for our very dear His Grace Sanatana Dharma Prabhuji. Sorry, I kind of lost my internet on the other side. Right here. Hari Bol. So our very dear Sanatana Dharma Prabhuji is a brahmachari from ISKCON Pune. Prabhuji is a disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj and has been practicing Krishna consciousness for about 20 years. Prabhuji is a B.Tech graduate from NIT Trichy and has worked as a senior manager with Tata Motors in the past. Prabhu currently serves as an area management and project development head for the Pune region. He's a counselor, youth and corporate preacher, congregation preacher, secretary at Voice organization, and also a remote mentor for NVCC Pune Temple. Prabhuji knows and preaches in many languages, including Hindi, English, Tamil, Malayalam, Bengali, Marathi, Telugu, and Japanese. Hari Bol. Over to you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for that introduction. We will wait for Prabhuji to join. I don't see Prabhuji yet. Is there anybody who would like to introduce themselves? Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Anita Ramya from Sharjah. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji, Dhanavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining and giving your association every day. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna, is there anybody who would like to introduce themselves? Please go ahead. Okay, we can chant Hare Krishna by then until Prabhuji joins. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna.
Hare Hare Krishna Ram Ram
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gadamadi Sukakar Krishnadas. Thank you for allowing me to come for your program today. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Sukaka Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for joining and giving your association. Welcome to the call.
Thank you, Madhuri.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Is there anybody who would like to introduce themselves? Yeah. We'll continue chanting until Prabhuji joins. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna.
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Ram Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna 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 Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare Hare Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram
Hare Ram,
Ram
Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Hare
Hare Ram,
Ram
Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Krishna Hare,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Krishna Hare,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare Krishna
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 Hare,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Krishna Hare,
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare, Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Yeah.
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for joining and giving your valuable time and association this morning and enlightening us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. And today's topic is Bhakti, the transformation of heart, right? Is that right? Heart transformation. I just forgot. Yeah, Bhakti, heart transformation. Sorry, Prabhuji. Prabhu, we can't hear you.
Please unmute yourself.
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare.
There is little breaking, Prabhuji. We could hear you, but there was little
Hare
breaking.
Krishna. Now?
Now, yes.
Okay. So if you're all able to hear me, please turn on your videos. That's a proof you're able to hear me. Please, requesting all the wonderful devotees to kindly turn on your videos. Meanwhile, we'll recite the Mangalacharan prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tatsmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Yutampadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrijatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Advaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धोभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतुषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Just 1 minute. Very happy, delighted, enthusiastic to be with all of you. For you morning, for me this evening, to discuss on the subject matter of Srimad Bhagavatam, this wonderful literature of Srimad Bhagavatam. And it will be much more delightful to discuss Srimad Bhagavatam in association of all those wonderful devotees who turn on the videos. So thus, I'll be able to see and experience all the devotees. Okay. So, Srimad Bhagavatam is really very amazing. It is said that 5 limbs out of the 64 limbs, the 64 limbs of devotional service that Rupa Goswami Pad describes in the Nectar of Devotion, 5 are very important. We will not be able to remember the names of 64 also, what to speak of doing it. But 5 are very important limbs. And what are those 5 limbs? Sadhu Sanganama Kirtana Bhagavata Shravana Mathura Vasa Shri Murtira Shraddhaya Sevana. Yes. So associating with devotees, then performing the Nama Sankirtan to recite the holy names, to chant the holy names. Bhagavata Shravana. So listening to Srimad Bhagavatam attentively, participating in the program of Srimad Bhagavatam. Mathura Vas, to reside in a holy place such as Mathura, and Shri Murtira Shraddhaya Sevan, to very faithfully serve the deities. So in these 5 items, the middle item, the central item is hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. It's very important, listening to Srimad Bhagavatam. And anybody who honestly becomes an honest devotee, Satam, such an honest devotee, when he listens to Srimad Bhagavatam, one will develop faith in the association of devotees. One will develop taste for chanting the holy name. One will develop the eagerness to go and serve in the Dham, Mathura Vas, to stay and serve in the Dham. And also, one will develop the necessary faith required to actually serve the deities of the Lord. So this is one of the most important activity, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, right? And this is Vaishnavanam Priyam. So the next sloka, it says that Sakala Sadhana Shrestha Yehi Pacha Anga Krishna Prema Janmaya Yehi Panchera Alpa Sangha. What does it mean? This was so Sakala Sadhana Shrestha, the best sadhana that you can do is these 5 things. Pancha. And these 5 things when you do, they Pancha Anga, the 5 types of Angas, the limbs that you perform, this is the best sadhana. And Krishna Prema Janmaya, the Krishna Prema will take birth in the heart of those who even come in contact with one of these limbs even a little bit. Yehi Panchera Alpa Sangha. Alpa Sangha. So this is Bhakti Japa Sangha. And let's try to do some Alpa Sangha. So I am not, you all take such very nice Sangha of these items, but all we are aspiring for is Alpa Sangha. And what will inspire me in this Alpa Sangha is all of your virtual presence. That's the only thing that I'm asking you. Please carry on with your divine activities, transcendental activities, but please keep your videos on so that I don't see this black Brahman. That's what Raj Prabhu calls. these boxes as Black Brahman. I want to see devotees and get inspired to speak Srimad Bhagavatam. All right. This point of time, let's move to Srimad Bhagavatam. We'll be reciting from the 6th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 18, shloka number 20, 21, 21 and 22. Please correct me if I'm wrong. These are the verses. I'll read the verses and I will request one of you to kindly raise your hands to read the translation. Shri Rajo Vacha Katham Asuram Bhavam Apohyatu Patikam Guru Indrena Prapita Satnyam Kim Tat Sadhu Kritam Hitaihi. Yes. So His Grace Shukakar Krishna Prabhu can read the first translation.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. King Parikshit inquired, my dear Lord, due to their birth, the 49 Maruts must have been obsessed with a demoniac mentality. Why did Indra, the king of heaven, convert them into demigods? Did they perform any rituals or pious activities?
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Ime shraddadate brahman rishayo hi maya sah parignyaya bhagavams tanno vyakhyatum Tarpagavalli Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. Dandatman. My dear
Dandat.
Brahmana, I and all the sages present with me are eager to know about this. Therefore, O great soul, kindly explain to us the reason. Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandatman.
Suta uvach, Shri Suta uvacha, tad Vishnuраtasya sabadarayanir vacho nishamya gritamalpamarthavat sabhajayansan nibritena chetasa jagada satrayana sarvadarshana. Her Grace Eka Radhika Leela Mataji.
Yes, thank you, Prabhuji. Maharaj Parikshit question was, Sri Suta Goswami said, O great sage Shaunaka, after hearing Maharaj Parikshit speak respectfully and briefly on topics essential to hear, Shukadeva Goswami, who was well aware of everything, praised his endeavor with great pleasure and replied, Hare Krishna.
Okay. Thank you. So in this particular discussion today, we are not going to actually see the reply of Shukadeva Goswami. Yes, that is something we are not going to see, but definitely we are going to prepare the foundation to accept the reply of Shukadeva Goswami. That is something we are going to do in this particular sitting and discussion. So first, let's try to understand Parikshit Maharaj's question. Yes. So first, Parikshit Maharaj questions that it's 49 Maruts. How did they become 49 Maruts? Yes, Indra was looking. Indra actually, both of them. Diti, she was envious of Indra. That it is Indra actually who is the instigator to kill my 2 children. And thus, I'm no more a mother now. I don't have my 2 children with me, Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha. And thus she goes to serve Kashyap Muni with duplicitous intention. So she goes to Kashyap Muni and serves him so very nicely and she pleases him. And Kashyap Muni is very, very pleased with her and says, whatever you want, you ask, I'll give you. And then she takes okay, all right. Now here I come. Yeah, you said whatever you want, I'll ask. I'm definitely going to ask you. So give me a son who will kill Indra. And Kashyapa was like, my God, why did I trust this woman again? It's why again I made the same mistake by trusting her. So she had a duplicitous intention while serving Kashyap Muni. And Kashyap Muni got fooled very easily. And thus he promised to give her a son. But then again, he applied even his intelligence. He gave her a process by which she would get a son. At the same time, her heart would also get purified. So he mentioned to her a process which is called Pumsamana Vrata. Yes, Pumsamana Vrata. So one sister, Aditi, she does the Payo Vrata. Yes. And this other sister does the Pumsamana Vrata. to get a son, right? And now here, Indra is insecure because the news is put all in the WhatsApp group. And very soon, Diti Mataji is going to give birth to a child who's going to kill Indra. And Indra is like, my God, she's going to get a child who's going to kill me. No, I don't want to die. So let me do something. So even he also, with a duplicitous intent, his goal was not to serve Diti at all. He just approached his stepmother. Oh, mother, I want to render service to you. Please give me a wonderful opportunity to serve you and assist you in your Rata. And Diti said, okay, all right, you can assist me. But what was his intention? Again, his intention was not to do genuine service. His intention was, I will just look for an opportunity and I'm going to enter into the womb of Diti and I'll finish the child. Whenever she makes a mistake. Because as long and until her practice is very pure, it's really impossible for a person to actually infiltrate into a system, right? That is very impossible. So Diti does make a mistake. She forgets to wash her mouth after eating, and that's where Indra gets a loophole. He just enters into the womb of Diti and he cuts the womb of Diti into 7 pieces. And then he sees, okay, the 7 pieces become 7 children, the 7 lumps of flesh. And again, he cuts it into 7, each 7 into 7 parts, and 7 cross 7 becomes 49. Oh no, what's happened? There are 49 of them. And then all of them start speaking to Indra. Our dear brother Indra, why are you killing us? We are after all devotees. We are also Hare Krishna devotees. Yes, we are also devotees. We are also devotees. Why are you killing us unnecessarily? Please don't kill us. And then when Diti gets up, she understands there is supposed to be 1 child. That's what I planned for. But here are 49 of them. What should I do? And then Indra admits. He admits that, oh mother, I came with a wrong intention to serve you. I was just looking for an opportunity to destroy your womb because I'm very attached to my life. I'm very attached to my post and position. Please forgive me. And even Diti, she forgets her envy and enmity towards Indra. And she's very happy. And as a result, how do you understand she's forgiven Indra, or rather given up her envy towards Indra? Is that she takes all the 49 children and says, if they stay here, they'll become demons. They're having a devotee mentality, but here association is not conducive. You please take them away from here and make them your servants and let them serve under you as demigods. And here is where Parikshit Maharaj is confused. He says, come on, demigods? How is that possible? Because when does one become a demigod? Question, when does one become a demigod? Number 1, we hear that a person who has cultivated sattva, goodness, urdhvam gachanti sattvastha, madhye tishnanti rajasa, jaganna guna vrittishta adho gachanti tamasa. We studied in the 14th chapter of Bhagavad Gita that a person who is enriched with goodness, such a person becomes demigod. High degree of goodness, and he has diminished his passion, he has curbed his ignorance. Such a person is qualified to be demigod. But did they become demigod like this? Or number 2, the second way to become a demigod is to do pious activities. Do a lot of yajnas, different kinds of fire sacrifices and yajnas, and get punya. Give a lot of charity, dana, and become a punyavan. Number 3 is to do different kinds of tapasya. Yes, even through penance, one can purify one's heart and come to the mode of goodness, and thus he can go to the heavens. Or vratas, the different kinds of vratas involved, which they have to perform in order to become demigod. So all these things, this increases the piety of a living entity. And when the piety increases, the punya increases, then a person, he levitates and goes to the heavenly realm. Correct? That's where he goes. So did they perform pious activities? His question. Did they perform some rituals or some pious activities? Then 3rd, who becomes a demigod? Well, a person who is obedient, he shows his obedience to Krishna. Not only is he accepting Krishna's authority as a Supreme Lord, that's level 1. At the same time, he also surrenders to the will of Lord. He's obedient to the will of Lord. Such a person is called as a demigod. Vishnu Bhakta Smrto Devaha Asurastad Viparyayat. Yes, Asurastad Viparyayat. So such a person is called demigod. So how did they immediately become obedient to the Lord? And sometimes it is said, like Srila Prabhupada was telling, there was Jayanand Prabhu, such a hard-working devotee. Yes, and he drove cab. Prabhupada was wanting to actually ask, okay, fine, Jayanand Prabhu, we are in short of funds. So can you go out and work? So he was driving cab all the while. And whatever money would come, he would take it and he would give it to Srila Prabhupada. Such a hardworking devotee, but somehow he had to leave. He is the person who started the Rath Yatra. The devotee who was responsible for the Rath Yatra. So like that. But he had to leave. So now Prabhupada was asked a question that, okay, Jayanand Prabhu, such a hardworking devotee, what a quality, where did he go? He would have gone surely to Krishna's kingdom. Prabhupada said he might have gone to the heavens. He would have gone to the heavenly abode probably. And devotees were shocked. How is that? So Prabhupada said, to attain the kingdom of God is very, very rare, sudurlabha. Many devotees of mine, of course, he didn't mention a person. Some people say 75%, some people say 80%, but I'm yet to receive that source from where Prabhupada says that. But definitely he said many of my devotees will go to the heavenly planet. Why? Why the heavenly planets? Because devotees having the tendency to control, devotees having a tendency to enjoy, yes, the tendency of controlling mentality or the enjoying mentality, that spirit doesn't go away. Then Krishna gives you the opportunity, okay, you practice bhakti, but practice in heavens. Now you can enjoy also, and you can exhibit some control as well. Yes? So that is why demigods are called as karma mishra bhaktas. You heard that? How many of you heard the statement that demigods are called karma mishra bhaktas? They are also devotees, but they are karma mishra devotees. Why? Because they still have a desire to enjoy and control in this world. They have not yet developed that unalloyed bhakti, ananya bhakti. That is something they have not developed. And because of this reason, they go to the heavenly planets, the controlling mentality. All right. Then, Parikshit Maharaj was quite eager. He was quite enthusiastic and eager to know about that. Usually the demons, now, okay, why, what does Prabhupada translate as demons? Daityas. Now, the Diti Putras are called as Daityas. What are the children of Diti are? Daityas. But Prabhupada never ever calls Diti Putras as Daityas. What is the word he uses? Demons. And moment you imagine demons, can you all put in the chat? I request you all to kindly put in the chat what all features come to your mind. Demons means what? What's a demon? Yes, we're going to get some interesting answers here. Now, you meant this word is given to you. Demons. I will only read those answers which appeal to me. Okay, really bad guys. Envious. Inimical to Lord Vishnu. Very good. I will not read even those answers which are repetitive. So you can keep typing. Long hair, large teeth, huge body. Yes, a typical demon. Evil person, ghastly looking. Right? These are all the conceptions that come to us when you talk about demon. I remember Ravana. Then they're ferocious in nature. They're angry people. They're always, their eyes are bloodshot with anger. They're jealous. The opposite. They're anti-devotees. They're anti to devotees. So these are all the different feelings, or rather our imaginations that come. But we need to know the difference between these three words. I'm going to give you three words. I'll just put it on the board for you. So I'm going to use the whiteboard. I request all devotees not to do painting on this board, please. Please don't paint on this board. I'll disable annotations. I'm not able to disable that, but anyway, please don't paint. Correct? Are these three the same? We just want to know the etymology. Asura. This word Asura comes from Asu Ramana. One who wants instant pleasure. Asu means quickly and Ra means Raman, pleasure. So the literal meaning for this is ones who want instant pleasures. They are called as Asura. Asu Raman. Correct? Now these are the people who are atheists, who don't believe in the Lord. Non-believers of Vishnu. They are Asuras. Correct? And we have Asura Parampara, just as we have devotees Parampara. Correct? We are able to see many initiated devotees here. I am Sanatana Dharma Das, Sukakara Krishna Das, Raj Das. So we are all Das Parampara. Similarly, we have Mataji's Vinita Gandharvika Devi Dasi, Induleka Karuna Devi Dasi, Shama Gauri Devi Dasi. We have Devi Dasi Parampara. So that is all. We are all Das, one category of initiated devotees. Similarly, Asuras also get what? they get titles after initiation. Bana, Asura. Yes, Vritta. Of course, Vritrasura doesn't come in this category, but I'm just telling you, got the title of Asura. Banasur, Dhenuka, Asura. Correct? They all get this title, etc. Naraka, Sura, we get. Okay, now who are Rakshasas? Now these Rakshasas are the features that you were talking about, large bodies, horns, teeth. So these are Rakshasas. Correct? These are Rakshasas. These are another species altogether. These Rakshasas are also very, very passionate and ignorant people who are very demoniac in nature. They have demoniac nature. And they are the ones who sexually assaulted Brahma when they were born. So they assaulted their own creator. Yes, Rakshasas. And they have all those features, that horns, teeth, large bodies. Example of these Rakshasas are the Bakasur in Mahabharata. Or you can say Hidim. Yes, our Gatotkacha was half Rakshas, half human being. So they all come under this category. They are Rakshas Sampradaya. So they need not be Gatotkacha is there. He was worshipping Krishna. He was bowing down to Krishna. He's a devotee's son. So they need not be, their nature is quite aggressive, but they need not be atheistic. Now, who are Daityas? Now, Daityas are the Diti's Vamshavali, the grandchildren of Diti. So from Diti's lineage. Now, Diti is one of the wives of Kashyap Muni. Diti and Kashyapa's lineage, those who come, they are called the Daityas. But still, Prabhupada has translated the Daityas as demons whenever possible. Why? Because generally their nature is demoniac. So generally they are demoniac in nature, because of which they are also categorized as demons. Prabhupada always says this is demon, Daityas. It became a big controversy in one country. Now Krishna, in the opulences, the Vibhuti Yoga, he mentions among the demons I am dash. Who is it? Anyone knows? Among the demons, I am dash. Think. Let me see who's going to give the first answer in the chat.
Prahlad.
Yes, among the Prahladaschasmi Daityanam. So among the demons, I am Prahlad. So that time some people were saying, oh, Prahlad, they worship Prahlad. They say Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. And they're saying amongst the demons, so Krishna is a demoniac god. And a lot of controversy. People don't understand. People don't understand our philosophy properly. That's why they created controversy that this Hare Krishna cult is a very demoniac cult. They're promoting demons. Their god Krishna is killing among demons. I'm Prahlad. They also worship Prahlad. And many things. It happened in one of the country. Yes. So, but we need to understand the meaning between all these things. So usually the Daityas or the demons, as called here, are controlled by passion. That is what is the doubt of our Parikshit Maharaj. Correct? Look at examples. Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha. These all demons have come. Third canto, we discussed about them. Parikshit heard. Yes. Aditi's sons are in goodness. But Diti's sons are all controlled by passion. So how did these Maruts, who are also sons of Diti, who are supposed to be controlled by passion, how did they get placed as demigods? We just enumerated the different qualifications of being a demigod. So how did these people become demigods? So that was his question. But if you see, carefully analyze, there are 12 Mahajanas. Who are the 12 Mahajanas? Swayambhu, Narada, Shambhu, Kumara, Kapilo, Manuhu, Prahlada, Janako, Bhishmo, Balir Vaiyasaki Mayam. Balir Vaiyasaki Mayam. So now here, how many children of Aditi are here in among the 12 demigods? Not even one. Not even one. But how many people from Diti's lineage are there in the 12 Mahajans? 2 of them. There is Prahlad, there is Bali. Both of them are from Diti's lineage. That is why Parikshit Maharaj is asking question here, that how did these Maruts become demigods? But later on in 7th canto, we'll hear about Prahlad. 8th canto, we'll hear about Bali. He will not ask the same question. That how these 2 became Mahajanas. Because that question is clarified here only. Yes. Okay. So purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. So we'll try to discuss the purport. I'll read. Maharaj Parikshit's question was very much appreciated by Shukadev Goswami because although it was composed of a small number of words, it contained meaningful inquiries about how the sons of Diti, although born as demons, became demigods. Now, this is something that really pleases the preacher. Today, I'd gone to a college. The college is AISSMS. That's the name of the college. Please don't ask me for the full form. Even I couldn't learn it before going there. I tried to memorize the full form and then I said, give it up. Don't worry. AISSMS. At least I could get the letters right. So this AISSMS, I had gone there for a session and they told me to speak on the topic, Mera Bharat Mahan. That was a topic given to me because we recently celebrated the Indian independence, the 76th. So I was speaking. So what I did was I asked them question, why do you think India is Mahan? I interacted. It was a orientation session and these people had a long day. So I just casually interacted, made friendship. And then I asked from them only, you tell me why Mera Bharat Mahan? Why is our India so glorious? And then people started speaking. They gave a lot of, they're the ones who invented zero. Yes, Ayurveda, yoga, so many things they mentioned. I said, very good, you're all knowledgeable. Please applaud for yourself. And then I asked them the question. I called up 2 volunteers. I asked one of them, what is the name of your country? He said, India. I asked the second person in Hindi, aapke desh ka naam bataiye. And he said, Bharat. And everybody got the point. Okay. So then I told them, India, as such, there is no word existing like this, but Bharat. What is the meaning of Bharat? Bharata. Those who propagate the divine transcendental spiritual light like knowledge. That place is called Bharat. And that's what is spoken even in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Bharat bhumi te hela manushya janma yar, janma sarthaka kari karo paropakar. That is the duty of every Bharat. That's the meaning of Bharati. And they were all very impressed. None of them had heard this before. But I've spoken this topic many times. Yes. So they all heard it. And later on, what I did was, this was the first 15 minutes of the whole class was about what is spirituality, what is Krishna consciousness, who is Srila Prabhupada. And then we taught them Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Jap, Hare Krishna. So this was the whole session, right? So after the session was over, many students had to ask doubts. So there were so many of them asking questions. Hands were up. The college authorities literally had to barge in and stop. Please, we're very grateful, but there are so many questions. And whenever questions come after a class, oh, that is ecstasy for a speaker. He loves to give answer to questions. So if questions are coming, that means the audience have received the message. Well, at least they've received the message. Well or not, that's another question. But they've received the message. So there were so many questions, boys and girls, everyone with the hands up. So, we want to ask. Even after the session was over, they were nagging. Some wanted photographs, some wanted autograph. You find all these kind of people, but ultimately, everybody wanted to ask questions also. They were not leaving. I literally had to sit in the cab and run to come to Bhakti Sangjapa class. Because I had a class here, I had to come back to Kharadi. But the point is, whenever people ask questions, it's very, very pleasing to the speaker. So today also I plan on ending a little early so that you all get more time to ask questions. Even all of you, this Bhakti Sangjapa group, they ask very wonderful questions. This is a great ecstasy actually for the speaker, asking questions. So once I was hearing a tape. Yes, I was hearing a tape that Srila Prabhupada and some of the young boys were there. And this young boy, one of the boys, he was asking many questions to Prabhupada. And Prabhupada was peacefully answering the questions. Yes, it is like this. Normally we see Prabhupada, when you ask questions, so Prabhupada continuously, Prabhupada's like, boss, come on, you don't know this, don't that. And Prabhupada is quite heavy while answering. But to this boy, Prabhupada was actually answering his questions very patiently, very nicely. And I was wondering why. Why so? Because of course, Prabhupada, he has all wonderful 26 qualities. But here the boy was very submissive by nature. Yes, he was very submissive and he was also asking meaningful questions. The questions have to be meaningful. If you ask meaningless questions, Prabhupada used to smash you. Like one disciple got up and asked that, we understand the relationship between Radha and Krishna. What is the relationship between Balram and Radharani? It's a nonsense question. This is an absurd inquiry. And whenever such absurd inquiry is asked, Prabhupada used to be very heavy. He would really beat the person black and blue with his philosophy and words. Similarly, there was another person who came and asked, Swamiji, what do you feel about Buddhism? And Prabhupada spoke for some time about Buddhism. He said, okay, Swamiji, now what do you feel about Islam? And Prabhupada just spoke something about Islam. Says, Swamiji, what do you feel about Christianity? Prabhupada said, wait a minute. What do you follow? He said, I follow nothing. And Prabhupada told him, first, follow some religion and then come and talk to me. Right? Come follow and then come and talk to me. Right? But anyways, the questions is something that really inspires and we should be asking. And intelligence is a sign of inquisitiveness. And now some people ask, Prabhuji, I don't get any questions. What to do? So even Prabhupada would not get any questions to ask his spiritual master, but what he would do, he would go and ask Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, how can I serve you? Even this is an inquiry. This is the greatest inquiry that we can ever make to a spiritual master. How can I serve you? So if you don't have any questions, what do we ask? How can I serve you? Very important. I just gave a lecture on this in one of my student centers. I gave a lecture, and then after that, one devotee, he got so inspired. He ran. Right now, I'll apply this point which I learned from Sanatana Dharmadas. I will go and apply this. So he went to the center project manager whom I had appointed. He went to him. That devotee was bichara taking rest. He served whole night. He had extended. He had done morning. He would come for the morning program. He had done his morning program chanting. He had so tirely. He woke him up. Prabhuji, and this devotee thought, what is this? Oh, how can I serve you? Please let me take rest and leave me alone. This is the greatest service that I can do to you. Of course, we should see time, place, and circumstances and then go and ask. This devotee actually did it. So even to ask this question, how can I serve you? You need some maturity. That's what I was thinking. So I thought of mentioning this instance. Otherwise, somebody is very disturbed. You go and ask. Like there was one devotee, I don't want to mention his name. You all may know him. This devotee is always cooking in the kitchen for yatra, for many devotees. And there was another devotee going and nagging, Prabhuji, how can I serve you? And Prabhu said, please leave me alone. Yes, allow me to do my service. That is the greatest way in which you can serve me. So we should not be a nuisance to the devotees. Right? Next line of the purport. It's a very small purport, but very meaningful purport. Just like Parikshit Maharaj's questions were also small. Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur stresses that even though Diti was very envious, her heart was purified because of a devotional attitude. Wow. Amazing. So this is a very deep line. Because we need to first understand that Diti's heart was inflicted by envy. Even the first time and even the second time. First time, it was not that Diti had become lusty of Kashyapa and wanted to enjoy. No. Prabhupada clarifies in the purport that Diti was envious of her co-wives that everybody had children and she didn't have. And madam, you didn't have the children because you are not qualified. When does a wife get a child from the husband? When she has pleased the husband with the service attitude. And here, literally, she was pulling and nagging Kashyap Muni that, come on, let us unite right now. And that was the evening time. Yes, pregnancy of Diti in the evening. 3rd canto, 14th chapter. And when responsible Brahmanas and Brahmanis, they commit a mistake, the consequences are very grave. Even if they are relatives of Lord Shiva. Very grave consequences. And thus was the birth of Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha. The two greatest terrorists who ever lived. They were terrorists. They terrorized the entire universe. Terrorists of today, they may terrorize a particular tract of land, but terrorists like Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha, they were terrorizing the whole universe. There's a chapter in Bhagavatam. Hiranyakashipu terrorizes the whole universe. There are terrorists who were born. Correct? So that was envy. And even in this case, she is acting out of envy. Her intention was envious. But can a person who is envious perform bhakti? Yes. Kapil Dev says yes. 3rd canto, 29th chapter, 8th verse. What does it say? Abhisandaya yo himsam dambam matsaryameva sambramricha pratadbhavam mai kuryat satamasi. Yes, this is also devotional service, but the practitioner who's practicing devotional service is practicing out of ignorance. Out of envy to some person, the person is practicing bhakti. With a malicious intent to harm somebody, one is practicing bhakti, and Diti is a typical example of that. There are people who practice bhakti even out of anger. in the mood of anger. So there are PAVES. That's an acronym you can remember. Bhakti out of pride. Somebody is practicing bhakti, but very proud of his spiritual accomplishments, very proud of one's material achievements. And this is the tamoguna. Correct? And sometimes we find that even some great devotees also develop a tinge of pride. There's an element of tamas that comes, but Krishna purifies immediately. You know why? Sudarshan is the right hand of Krishna. But in Jagannath Puri, he stands left. Why? Because Sudarshan had developed a pride of being a very great servant of Lord. Then Lord, in order to purify his pride, he invites Hanuman to come. And he tells Sudarshan that you're supposed to protect all my dwaras. All the gates which are there in Jagannath Puri, you're supposed to protect. Don't allow anyone to come. But Hanuman very tactfully avoids Sudarshan and comes inside. And Sudarshan is thoroughly humbled. So Lord said, this is one anartha that I cannot tolerate, because of which now from my right hand you will stand in the left. That's why Sudarshan stands in the left side of the Lord today in the Jagannath Puri. That is because of pride. So this sometimes may come in some great devotees also, but that's a tinge of the tamoguna, which is coming in bhakti, in the practitioner of bhakti. V is violence. A person may practice bhakti out of violence, violent mentality. So I'm doing bhakti in order to harm. I'll chant extra rounds. For what? So that Vaishnavas should get accident. He should get severely injured. I'll chant very severely. I'll chant extra rounds on Ekadashi. Why? So that devotee's leg breaks off. I'll chant very intense. This is all violence. Correct? And here we find the example of Diti, who's practicing pure devotional service, but mixed with envy. Yes, he's envious of Indra. And S is separatist mentality. Separatist mentality means to actually sambram pritak bhava, to separate Lord and his devotees from each other. This is what Kumaras also did. They had a separatist mentality. They said, who is the one who posed both of you as the guards of Vaikunta? You're not qualified. You're exhibiting anger. They separated the Lord from his servants. Separatists. They were seeing separate. They were not seeing Lord as devotees as one unit of Lord. The first teaching of Chaitanya Charitamrita is what? Vande Gurun Isha Bhaktan Isha Nisha Avatarakan Tat Prakasham Tat Shaktihi Krishna Chaitanya Sangitam. These all tattvas of Vaishnavas, the Guru, the Avataras, the Shakti. Yes, these are all equal. They are non-different from the Ishvara Tattva. So one should never separate the Lord from his devotee in one's dealings, in one's thoughts, in one's actions. If one is doing that, he's a pritak bhava. That is also in tamoguna. Correct? So Diti practiced bhakti in tamoguna. But the power of bhakti, she did it tivrena. Akama sarva kamuva moksha kamudaridi tivrena bhakti yogena. Intensely she did. Yajeta purusham param. Very good. She was able to purify even the envy. There's only one process which can purify envy, and that's bhakti. It is said that envy is the first anartha which the jiva got, and envy is the last to go. How many of you seen antennas? Transistor antennas? Anyone? You understand what I'm trying to say? Then antennas, you have to lift 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes, Prabhuji has got disconnected, right?
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, I'm back. Some issue in the internet. What was the last thing that you all heard? Antenna.
Prabhu, antenna
So
was
the
not.
antenna is something. Antenna was gone, huh? My antenna went off. Okay. Now if you look at the antenna, antenna has some more units to it, and we extend. So from NV, yes, there is NV, and then from NV comes out all the other 5 anarthas. And even when wound up, one by one, all the anarthas are wound up, and finally the NV goes. So the beauty here is Diti, her envy is gone, and her heart has become completely purified because of bhakti, devotion service. So envy is the last anartha to leave, but the first to come. Yes. So this is something which is very hope-giving in the process of Krishna consciousness. Correct. So the topic given to the class was about bhakti, the transformation of heart. No, this is something that gives the greatest joy. It gives the greatest joy to the Vaishnavas to see that somebody's heart is softened, somebody's heart is melted, somebody's heart has been transformed. And there are numerous examples in the Shastras and numerous examples that we can see people around and do. Yes, we can see them around. So once what had happened, there was a devotee, right? So there was a devotee, Mataji, distributing books. Yes, she was distributing the books in the train in Russia. And there was another person, heavy built person. Russians are usually heavy built and tall. So he saw this Mataji distributing books. He became so very, very envious. He just took the Mataji and threw her out of the train. Yes. Raj Prabhu, anything wrong?
No. I was amazed what he did. Wow.
Acha, okay. You heard the point.
Oh, yes, Prabhuji. That's crazy. Yeah.
Oh, just
He,
threw
he
her
was
out.
he was a demon.
And
Yeah.
please wait till the end of the story. And then what happened was that one of our Bhagavad Gita books fell down. So this guy took the Bhagavad Gita, he tore the pages of Bhagavad Gita, everything. And somehow he just crushed it. But he didn't throw it out of the train. He put it in his bag. Something inspired him. The touch of Bhagavad Gita inspired him to put it in the bag. And then he just went on living his life. He was a drunkard. He was very frustrated in life. He used to get into fights very easily. And he had no proper family life. It was very difficult. And his family left him and went, seeing his very violent attitude. And at one point of time, he was just wanting to contemplate suicide. Yes. So he was searching for some poison or some way to kill himself. That time he found the Bhagavad Gita, the pages of Bhagavad Gita. He had torn it. He tried to put it properly into pages one by one. And later on, he tried to read the message of Bhagavad Gita. And somehow the words of Bhagavad Gita makes maximum sense when a person is undergoing problem. So he read everything, and finally he was in tears. That hard-hearted man who had pushed the book distributor out. He was completely in tears. And he was crying that what have I done to a Vaishnava? What have I done to a devotee? I just go right now and surrender myself. So he went and surrendered himself completely to Hare Krishna temple, and he was happily chanting, dancing. He became 16 rounder, and then all the Russians, they came to Mayapur, Sridham Mayapur. So he was there taking darshan of Panchatattva. And that time he turned right. That time he saw the same Mataji whom he had pushed out of the train. So he went in front of the deities, offered her Dandvat Pranam. He stood up and asked, Mataji, do you remember me? And Mataji kindly smiled and said, how can I ever forget you? After that, what all that you have done to me, you threw me out of the train. How can I ever forget you, man? He said, please forgive me. Mataji said, yes, you're forgiven. So this is one of the, when I heard this for the first time, it was such a heart transforming experience. You see, right? There was yet another person. So this personality, what he used to do, whenever devotees would go on Harinam, so he would catch somebody and beat them up. A tall, hefty guy. He was like 7 feet 2 inch, huge fellow. Nobody could mess around with him. He used to catch one fellow and beat him down. He would come from somewhere. His goal of life was at least one devotee per day I will beat. I'll beat them nicely, and they used to run away from him. So all devotees used to be very cautious, but see the faith of devotees. Devotees never stopped Harinam. And this guy would come up from nowhere and start beating devotees. So once another devotee joined the temple, and a very smiling and cheerful devotee. Yes. So the smiling and cheerful devotee, the moment this tall fellow came, other devotees ran. He didn't know why they're running. They had not told him also. He's a new fellow, right? So as soon as this person came to beat, he immediately took a throne of halwa and gave him. And so plus, please eat. He said, you people you just annoy me. You upset me so much. He said, all right. What do you plan to do? He said, I'm planning to beat you up. He said, all right, you beat me up, but first take this. And then beat me up. Then he ate the halwa and said, can I get more? He said, of course, you can take the whole thing. And that guy was so huge and hefty, he ate the entire halwa. Yes, the whole box of pot of halwa he ate fully. And after eating that whole pot of halwa, he said, you are a nice man. I will not beat you. Don't worry. But you should keep giving me halwa. So this devotee, cheerful devotee, had made friendship with him. So every day would go and give him prasad. Every day would give him prasad. And this went on for weeks together. After weeks together, then his person came and said, you are my best friend now. So anyone troubles you or your friends, these Hare Krishna people, you tell me, I'll beat them up like that. And then he told that some people create disturbance here and there. He said, come, I'll come with you. So you have to come with us, you have to put tilak. He said, I'll put tilak. You have to come not only with tilak, you have to come with dhoti kurta. He said, I'll put dhoti kurta. He said, then you have to put kantimala. How to put kantimala? You have to chant 16 rounds. He said, I will do everything to come and protect you all. So like that, this devotee's kindness, his merciful gesture of giving prasadam, transformed the heart of this person and made him into a Vaishnava. So like this, many cases we find even in the Shastras. Jagai Madai, they had a heart transformation. Why? Because of the compassion shown by Nityananda Prabhu. Maar khaye, prem diye. We see the heart transformation of the cruel and wretched hunter named Brigari. Yes, he was simply developing sadistic pleasure to see all the other animals getting half killed. But it was the wonderful compassion of Narad Muni that led to the heart transformation of Brigari, the saintly association. Yes, so much of heart transformation that a person was half killing animals. Correct? He was half killing animals. So this person was not even harming an ant. He was afraid even to harm a small ant. He was offering obeisances to Narad Muni. Ants were coming in the way. So he was slowly brushing them aside, and then he was then he offered obeisances. What a heart transformation. Correct. So like this, numerous examples we find in the Shastras, and even how Srila Prabhupada transformed the hearts of so many hippies. Yes, he made the hippies into happies. Their heart completely transformed. Their lifestyle transformed, their hairstyle transformed, and then finally the heart also transformed. And all the hippies became happies and first-class Vaishnavas, pure-hearted Vaishnavas. So this is the process of bhakti. Yes, that's what we find here. Diti's heart transformed because she performed the devotional service prescribed to her by her husband and the Guru, Kashyap Muni. She just rendered the bhakti with a malicious intent. So there's no problem. She was doing it with envy. Some may perform bhakti out of desire to get fame, opulence, or enjoyment. That is bhakti done in passion. And some of them may even perform bhakti with a desire to just get relief from suffering. Just tinge with jnana. That is bhakti in goodness. So one may do gunabhuta bhakti. But still, if the bhakti is done under the guidance of a spiritual master, it is done faithfully, executed faithfully, It is said Krishna consciousness is such a wonderful process that the practitioner is dragged towards perfection. As long and until we keep going on with the process. Stick to the process and the process will purify our heart completely. I would like to pause here and open for question answers if there are any.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. What a beautiful class, Prabhu. Amazing, amazing, amazing. I won't get much of the time, Prabhu. It was very interactive, very beautiful class, Prabhuji. I will go right to the question answer session because we have a few hands already raised. Hare Krishna, Sukhar Krishna, Prabhuji. Danva Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhu, you are muted. Sukhar Krishna, Prabhuji. Asked to unmute. Prabhu, try now.
Yeah. Hare Krishna, Sanatana Dharma, Prabhu. See, you told
Hare
one
Krishna.
point and I really lost all my enthusiasm in devotional service. You told 80% people will go to Swargaloka. I want you to tell what can be made to see that we don't go to Swargaloka. Because Swargaloka, again, you'll do sinful activities, so much of sense gratification, 12,000 years with Urvasi, Ramba, Tilottama and all these. And you will go down, you will never go to spiritual one. No, that chances of remembering Krishna is not there because you're going to a supermarket, lot of punya is there, you're just spending here and there, you become a bhikari, you become Sudama, come back here down. And at that time, the Kali would have gone so bad. So tell me something, how to get out of that. Prabhupada just told, no, 80% will go to Sargaloka. So it's a big, shocking news for me now.
I'll give you, first of all, I'll clarify the context. The whole purpose of this is Prabhupada did not want his devotees to take going back to Godhead cheaply. We're all going back to Godhead. There's another instance where Srila Prabhupada was asked. So he was talking about rebirth, reincarnation. And then the reporter asked Srila Prabhupada the question, where are all your devotees going? He said, we are all going to Vrindavan, Golok Vrindavan. We are all going back to Godhead. Because that's our goal. At the same time, the purpose of this particular instance, we need to understand the context behind the text. Every text has a context. The context is he could see that the disciple, where Jayanand Prabhu went, of course, we don't know. Prabhupada said, I'll take all my disciples back to Godhead. Prabhupada again said, don't worry, I have the keys to I will give you a backdoor entry into the spiritual world. Prabhupada said many statements. But every word, the text of Prabhupada, Vedavak, has a context. Prabhupada observed at that particular point of time that everybody was taking this back to Godhead very cheaply. They were taking it very casually. So in order to actually hit that casual nature and to make, that's what a guru does. Guru is like an alarm who wakes you up to reality. So in order to beat down that casual nature, Srila Prabhupada spoke this statement. That is the context behind Prabhupada's text. All right, so we need not lose hope. Simple things. Prabhupada has told, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, you chant Hare Krishna, don't criticize others. 2 things you do, I'll take you back to. Yes, you still want to go back to Godhead. Prabhupada said a book distributor will definitely go back to Godhead. Haribol.
Prabhuji, one more. When I heard from Srila Prabhupada that when you go to the spiritual world, the Maya will take you near Gandharvaloka, all those Kinnaras and all. And the devotees, they look there, they'll just feel like, finished, they're gone. So that test also to be passed. Now to close your eyes and go.
The Viman will go very slowly. We have to go through all these things. If our mind gets attached to anything of this world, yes, the plane stops there. I've also heard this. And then you're stuck there. So we have to be very clear. Nirmana moha jita sanga dosha adhyatma nitya vinivritta kama mukta sukha mukha sange gacchantya muda padam. All these qualifications we have to attain. So nirmoha, nirmana, nirmoha. So that moha should not be there. We should not have any. What is illusion? Illusion is in the present tense. Right now, this object can give me pleasure. That is called illusion. Because there is no pleasure in this material world. The pleasure in this material world is compared to a horse's egg. Congratulations, a horse doesn't lay eggs at all. Correct? Horse's egg. That is what is material. It's called Goda Timba. Goda Timba is egg of a horse that doesn't exist. That's the pleasure of this world. So till the time one is convinced of this. Moha means right now this object can give me pleasure. This person can give me pleasure. This thing can give me pleasure. That Goda Timba is something that makes us hopeful in this world. That will make you stay. Actually, you have hope in this world and stay here. Yes, stay here and you'll understand. properly. Till the time you're not convinced, will not be taken back to God. So yes, that's also very true. But a person who has lifelong practiced the pure devotional path, thoroughly adhering to the instructions of Srila Prabhupada and the spiritual master, back to Godhead kingdom is his rightful heir to the kingdom of God.
Satyanukampa.
So personally, we are no aspiration. We have aspiration only for Mama. What is it? Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitamba jagadisha kame.
Jagadisha Kame.
Amma janmani, janmani ishware bhavata.
Bhakti, right?
We are not interested in going back to Godhead. We are interested in life after life serving the instruction of Guru. Janme, janme, Prabhu say. That's our interest. Taking back to Godhead is Krishna's interest, not ours. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Sugar Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhu. You are very eager to go back, and I'm pretty positive Srila Prabhupada is going to take care of that. No problems at all. Our very dear Karpavalli Mataji, Hare Krishna Mataji, pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for the wonderful session, Prabhuji. I just want you to give us the guidance and tips to become a unalloyed, pure devotee. And then some our loved ones are criticizing us in certain circumstances when we are doing worship, or we are doing deity worship, or they are criticizing how we are doing or something, and all we are chanting means they are how long you'll be hearing, and all that thing. I want to overcome all these things. This thing I want your guidance, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. An unalloyed devotee is one who doesn't want anything but Krishna. Every limb of bhakti is practicing, he has only one desire, Mami Chaptum Dhananjaya. Ata Chittam Samadhatum Nasakanoshi Mahistiram Abhyasa Yogena Tatha Mami Chaptum Dhananjaya. He simply wants Krishna. I'm hearing Srimad Bhagavatam to get Krishna. I'm chanting the holy name to get Krishna. To get Krishna, to get Krishna. I'm honoring Prasadam to get Krishna. I'm worshipping deities to get Krishna. So such a person is an unalloyed devotee of Lord. You can refer to 12th chapter, 9th verse, because the 12th chapter speaks about Ananya Bhakti. The 11th chapter ends with who can get the darshan of Krishna. Bhaktya tu ananya shakya ahameva vidojana jnatum drashtum cha tatvena praveshtum cha paramtapa. The 11th chapter says Ananya Bhakti, you can get Krishna. You can actually be with Krishna. You can get Krishna. You can serve Krishna, and get transferred to Krishna Loka. What is Ananya Bhakti? That is explained in the 12th chapter. Right? So practical Ananya Bhakti step that we all can do right now is 12.9. 12.8 is the highest stage, which is a Raga Bhakti. But for us, Sadhana Bhakti is the medium. So Sadhana Bhakti is complete when we do our limbs of Sadhana Bhakti, our various angas attentively with a desire to attain Krishna. So that will make you unalloyed devotee, number one. Second part, okay, some relatives of ours or loved ones, you call them, right? Loved ones are those who are supporting a bhakti. They are loved ones. That is real love. I'm speaking fact. Yes. Who are loving you, loved ones are those who are supporting your Krishna consciousness. Loved ones are those who are serving you to go back to God. That they are loved ones. So I'm first clarifying the definition of loved ones. And I would like to speak that there are other relatives who are there with us. And these relatives, they are actually test of Krishna, the test of our determination. See, one thing we need to realize. The only thing lacking, do not point faults of others. The only thing lacking is our own conviction. Nothing. That's the way to deal with such situations. Relatives or friends, so-called friends, so-called neighbors, they're going to talk everything that comes to their mind because they have no control over their mind and senses. But what is the test? These are all situations of the test of our conviction. If we are convinced, now nobody can disturb us. And you want to develop the conviction, rise early in the morning and try to hear Prabhupada lecture in the morning. Personally, as soon as I get up, I have a practice of turning on my mobile and putting Prabhupada lecture. I keep hearing Prabhupada lecture in the morning and every impression comes. That is the place where I develop conviction. Prabhupada lectures. The way Prabhupada gives answers, the way Prabhupada speaks all the points, the way Prabhupada presents Krishna conscious philosophy, that will give conviction. And we can buy conviction from Prabhupada free of cost by everyday morning hearing the absorption vibrations of Prabhupada. And you are convinced, then nothing matters. Let all the relatives turn against you. What does Kulishekara Alvar say? Chittam naiva nivartate kshanamapi Sri Krishna padambujam nindantu priya bandhava gurujana granantu muhyantu va duruvado parigoshayanta manuja vamse kalankostu va tadrik premadharanuraga manuja mattayamanam tume. He says, oh Krishna, what has happened? What does he say? Chittam naiva nivartate shanamapi, even one moment I'm not able to leave my consciousness from you. Sri Krishna padambujam. And because of this reason, nindantu priya bandhava, all my dear ones, so-called loved ones, you said priya bandhava, loved ones. These loved ones are nindati, they are criticizing me. Some are accepting me, some are just leaving me and going. They're deserting me. Some of them, Durvado parigoshayanta manuja vamse kalankostuva, they're telling you are nothing but a blemish to our dynasty. But I don't actually care about all these comments. I simply want to life after life serve. That's it. This is the mood that we have to adopt.
Thank you,
Raj
Prabhuji.
Prabhu.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. I'm going to put you in Dharma Sankat. I can only take one last question. Either you can tell me.
Prabhuji, I understand you have to leave for other services. Disha Mataji. 2 Dishas are here. We have 10 Dishas. Hare Krishna, Disha Mataji. Mataji, are you there?
I'll do one thing. I'll say, because you've taken her name, she has already put a question in the chat. I will read that and I'll answer that. I think that would be
Perfect.
As you explained why demoniac nature they had to change to devotees, Prabhu. Then in this world who are committing mistakes and Vaishnavas aparad, if they become devotee, then Krishna's forgiveness to them also, Prabhu. Okay. All right. So the qualification of many of the demons to receive mercy is they never offended devotees. See, we need to understand when the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Rupa Goswami part talks about 2 aparadas. The first aparad is called Seva aparad. The second aparad is called Nam aparad. And majorly the Seva aparad is done to the deities in the temple. During serving the deities, you do some aparad. That's called Seva aparad. So if you commit Seva aparad, it is not so serious because one can chant the holy name and counteract its effects. But the second aparad is Nam aparad. That is very serious. If you offend the holy name, we are going to be lifelong cast into hell. That's what Rupa Goswami says. So the first kind of Nama aparad, what is the first Nama aparad? Vaishnava aparad. Because the Nama is the sampatti of the Vaishnavas. Vaishnavas are those who possess the Nama, the holy name. Right? And when you offend these Vaishnavas who are the possessors of the holy names, then there is no hope for you. So we have to be very, very careful. So aparadas, Vaishnava aparadis don't get mercy unless the Vaishnava themselves forgive them. Like Ambarish forgave Durvasa Muni and offered spiritual credits. Nityananda Prabhu himself forgave Jagai and Madai. Yes. Our Gopal Chapal also was forgiven by Srivas. And Devaki Nandan Das, he was the one who offended Srivas Thakur by not stopping his servants from committing offense to Srivas. But later on he served Vakreshwar Pandit and his heart was softened. And Mahaprabhu worshipped, he forgave him. So the offensive mentality has to go. And this offensive mentality will go when we humbly serve the Vaishnavas. Become humble and serve the Vaishnavas. And somebody having committed Nam Aparad, there's only one cure. Constantly chant the holy name. 6th canto, Bhagavatam says that. If you offended the holy name, then you have to constantly chant the holy name. So one offended the Vaishnavas, you have to become the servant of the Vaishnava. That is why Gadadhar Pandit, when he first time sees Pundrik Vidyanidhi, it looks at what is this scented oil and his hair is flowing like this. He's taking some hookah, watching dancing girls and music. What kind of Vaishnava he is? The moment Mukunda recited a verse from Bhagavatam, Pundrik Vidyanidhi's ecstasy knew no bounds. And Gadadhar understood, I mentally offended him. So I have to become lifelong disciple. So he becomes a disciple. The major reason we don't develop taste in our sadhana is because we are committing mental offenses. But if that mental offenses become verbal or physical, then we'll lose bhakti altogether. We'll not even do the sadhana we're doing. Yeah, so be careful. Hare Krishna. I would like to close here from my side, and I would like to request all Vaishnavas to kindly allow me to proceed ahead. I have another forum to go. That's always the case on Friday.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you so much
Hare
for class.
Thank
Thank you
all
for your
very much.
time and association, Prabhuji. It was amazing class actually. So sorry, dear devotees, some questions has not been answered. So I apologize on behalf of Prabhuji, who has to leave for another session. So
Actually,
dear
the technical glitch was there. If that wasn't there, right, 5 minutes we would have got for these questions.
antenna thing,
Very
Prabhu.
unfortunate. I have to move.
You are so near to Krishna. He's playing with you.
Oh, I'm very near. Krishna is just here.
Hari bol. So dear devotees, let us pay our obeisances to Prabhuji and all the assembled Vaishnavas here. Vancha kalapataru bhashya kripa sindhu cha patitanam pavanebhyo
Sanatana
Vaishnavebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
namo namah. Grantraj Srimad
अनंत कोटि
Bhagavatam
वैष्णव वृंद की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील
Jai.
प्रभुपाद की जय, ग्रंथराज
Jagadguru
श्रीमद्
Srila
भागवतम
Prabhupada
की जय, भक्त संग जपा भक्त
Jai.
वृंद की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल,
Sanatana Dharma
काली।
Prabhu ji ki jai.
Yay! Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Brilliant class. Krishna.
Hari bol.
We'll end the